Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it's Sunderland, it's Bright Lights. It is episode 10 of Bright Lights. We are here on the 1st of July. It is a transfer special sort of episode. What I'm going to do and plan to do in this episode is I would like to stream most of this part. I'm not streaming at the moment. Quite busy on the Friday. We have foot champs later on in the day as well that I do want to play. Of course, it's Friday night, Sunday night, and then all day Monday's the time frame I usually get to play my foot champ. Saturday's a write-off with coaching cricket, and then, I like to bat hopefully for 6 hours all day. And then after cricket, you're pretty much dead, sleep, watch Liverpool. That's the day, and then work on Sunday all day, and then Sunday night back to playing a little bit of foot champs. And we stream sometimes on Sunday as well, as I like to leave a lot of games for Monday, as I think it's particularly, in Australia, it feels like it's a weaker set of players on Monday to play. Anyway, while we're talking about foot champs, this is a transfer bonanza. So this is why I'm not on stream at the moment. Also, my non was not feeling too well. He's in the hospital, so I'm going to go visit him as well. So instead of sitting here on the stream and grinding through after work today, I'm going to cut the transfer episode up into little parts and then release it as episode 10. What I'm going to do for episode 10 is we're going to go through major transfers. I'm going to talk a little bit about certain players and what I'm thinking in terms of making signings. There won't be any gameplay of pre-season, and then hopefully I'll get very close to game 1 of the season. I'll end episode 10 there, and episode 11 will be game 1 with a recap of the transfer period, and hopefully I'll be on stream for that one there as well, and then we can stream a very large amount of games of the championship. In terms of the championship, if we go into the season preview, we are currently predicted to finish 17th, 39-1. Our team looks not too bad. There should be some names there that you're like, ooh, who are they? Who's that person? Who's this person? So on and so forth. And you should, because we've been quite active in the transfer market, if you can see by players in down here. If we go back to the home screen as well, another thing of note is that the transfer budget's gone down from 22 mil. Once again, we've spent, and the finances are looking a little bit, oh, Damien, you've spent a lot of money. We spent a fair amount of money, not a lot of money. In terms of going into the inbox, the first two players you will see are two players that arrived today, but a lot of players arrived obviously in June when the English transfer window opened up. The first one here is Brian. Now, Brian was a free transfer, made no money. He was just released from Genk. He wasn't getting enough first team games at Genk, and then didn't want to release his contract. This guy, though, has apparently got a lot of potential, 4-star potential. It just made sense. Yes, we have Barley. As in Bali, Mumbo's growing sensation. Yes, we have Thuram, who we do have to speak about in a second. Don't worry, he's still at the club, even though every single Premier League club has pretty much said we want him. We're going to try and hold firm and keep him for at least another year or two to help us get promoted, as he's very good depth. This guy, I just looked at his mentals, and the only mental lacking is his aggression, and that's fine because I don't want him to get sent off. He just looks very good, dribbling, first touch, passing, technique, physically looks pretty good, 181. I just like that he can play Mazzala box to box, gives us a few more options, and technically he can play out wide, and it's something that we will address in a second, why a wide player, especially on the left, is important, because I've made a gamble of a signing, and we'll get onto that. The second player, obviously, in the inbox there is Liam Miller. Now, Liam Miller is a player that I'm actually thinking about starting because of another player that I've signed that I can't start there just yet. But Liam Miller, obviously, we picked him up on free from Liverpool. Liverpool released him. I think in real life, this guy actually has a fair amount of potential. Watching quite a few academy games, being a Liverpool member, you get access to the under-23 games, and this guy has played a fair bit. He's got 4 caps for Canada, but he's also homegrown as well. You just look at inside forward on attack, and he's quite natural. He's got 12 dribbling, finishings, 13, first touch of 12, 10 long shots and passing. He's got good flair, great determination, good off the ball, and decent pace. His physicals need to be worked on, and we are going to train him on the physicals as much as possible. I just love the player movements as he's moving the channel, cuts in from both wings, and he dribbles and runs with the ball a lot, which if his acceleration and pace gets up and the dribbling gets up, which at 19 I think he can, we're going to have quite the young player here. I just think that he has quite a lot of potential to get into a very good, see, my scouts who are better than 10 and 12, where is my assistant? There we are. My assistant's even saying that too. My scouts reckon that he's going to be a potential to be a Premier League division left winger in the future. I do too. He's also quite natural in playing up front as well, which I do like. And I just think that the kid has got good potential with great determination and can do us a job. I actually think this guy is probably good enough to start over Chris Maguire, which will make a few people upset, and myself a little bit. But I think Chris knows that at his age, and he's on a rotation/backup contract by memory, that he's happy to play in that role as a backup player and off the bench. To have Liam Miller on the bench and Chris off the bench and play Liam Miller in games we're comfortable in, if our other winger gets what he needs to get in order to play in the Premier League, I'm being a little bit secretive because I'm really happy with the signing. We'll do that as well. Now, we go into the transfer window. We go to the transfer history. You can see here we've spent 7.25 mil. We've sold Alamin finally for 100k, and Jack O'Connelly's gone out on a free transfer. Some team offered me, Maidstone offered me £0 for him. He's not worth anything, so I was like, yep, not a problem. As you can see, we've gone through the two frees as well, the two boring ones, and then we'll go into here. Now, a name a lot of people do know, Zach Clough. I've never managed Zach Clough on Football Manager, but every time I manage him or come up against him when I'm playing Football Manager since FM16, I reckon, this guy has been in the Championship and banged in goals. This guy's been in the Sky Bet League 1 and banged in goals. This guy has been everywhere and just banged in goals. My scout said this guy's going to be a good Premier League striker in the future. My assistant, however, reckons that he's only going to be a very good... oh, no, there you go. My assistant saying that he's going to be a decent Premier League striker. You can see why we signed him. He's very well-rounded. I love using advanced forwards. They're my favourite type of forwards. This year, I am really liking the pressing forward as well, but I really do like advanced forwards. He's great at dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing, technique, off the ball. You know, he's got great determination. I love that he gets in the opposition area, shoots with power with the decent finishing that he has. Runs with the ball through the centre, which with good dribbling, good pace, good physicals, apart from being quite short. He's not too bad, and, you know, to pick him up for the 1.4 mil with no fees, no nothing, they just wanted 1.4 mil up front from Rochdale, or from Nottingham, sorry, as he's on loan at Rochdale last year. I just thought it was just too good to be true. So we decided to sign him in. He hasn't scored a hatful of goals, but he will come in. I am in talks with another striker, and I'll show you that if that goes through or not. But it's another young kid like Zach Clough that has a lot of potential. The next one's David Garcia, and David Garcia we need to talk about just a little bit. I forgot we had Kone out on loan at Strasbourg, and he's back. So Garcia was too good to refuse on, right? He's very good as a ball-playing defender, but we've got to play as a central defender with ball-playing, you know, instructions. You know, very good mentally, very good heading, marking, tackling, very good positioning, very good physicals. I really do like this guy. You know, he's very good for the level, and he can grow into a decent Premier League player. We have him coming in, Bear Hill, you know, got Potter, what else we got? You know, got Kone, and you got you got Jack Baldwin. There's 5 centre backs there, so we might look at selling Baldwin, keeping Porter around so he can grow into his potential. It's not too bad. The last one's Luizano. Now he comes from AVA. Now AVA just got promoted, or in the are currently being promoted up to the first division, which hurts us. And when we signed this guy, he hadn't played any games for the under-20s, even though he was in the under-20 squad. He then played 5 games in the under-20s and scored 3 goals for Brazil, right? If I brought this guy in right now, he would have definitely got the work permit, 100%. Instead, I put him on a big chunk of wage. He was playing in Brazil's Premier Cup competition. He wasn't playing in the Premier League competition, but he's in our top 15% of wages, which is free permit points, and I thought that he would have qualified for one more permit point. There's a lot of permit points that he can qualify for. You know, if he's under 21 and playing under 20 games for Brazil, that counts as a permit point if he's played a recent amount of them, which he has now. So I reckon when this guy in 90 days time, that it is, in 77 days time, when I can apply for a work permit, being under 21, I don't need to register him. As soon as he gets his work permit, he can play. This guy as an inside forward looks unreal, and you can see why. Great determination, great physical, great dribbling off the ball. No traits just as yet, but we will train them up. You know, be as a left mid. I honestly think that will be his best position going forward because he's got great crossing, decent at corners, even though it doesn't really matter too much. He's just really good, well-rounded player. Obviously, he's very, very natural playing through the centre. If we ever move the 4-2-3-1, sorry, Honeyman, this guy's better than you with great potential. And as a centre attacking mid, as a Mazzala, he looks unreal as well. Our coaches reckon that he's going to be a potential to be a Premier Division attacking midfielder in the future. My scout said to me, Damien, he's going to be a good Premier League attacking midfielder in the future. I just think this guy is going to be unreal as a left attacking mid. It says 2-star. You get him natural in that position. That goes to 3-star straight away. He's better than Liam Miller and Chris Maguire straight out as soon as he grows natural into the role. And then he's going to grow on top of that. This guy could be a world beater in the making. But anyway, that's my signing so far. We're going to stop the recording here. We were back with something else. Now, you got to keep in mind, we still have to sign a starting goalkeeper for the year. And I don't mind if he's at the same level as Joey McLaughlin, as long as he has got potential to grow into a Premier League player. There's a couple names I've scouted out. It's just a matter of picking up on those players. We probably then also need just maybe a couple more youngsters to bolster up the under-23s for the upcoming season with good potential as well. And we'll see what we can do. Maybe there's some free agents that got released from the Premier League in terms of youth free agents that I haven't scouted yet that I will find, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. I would imagine the next few days with some transfer business. Also a striker that could potentially coming in. And then our free strikers for the year will be Clough, and this other striker that I'm thinking about, because Charlie Wycott I'm about to put in the transfer list as well. So you'll see transfer dealings on the outs and on the ins and anything else in between over the next coming days. So stick around and get ready to see those ones there. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Damien. We're still here. We're only 4 days from when we were last here, and it is the next piece of transfer news that we have for you guys. It is Renat Dadasov. I hope I pronounced that, Renat. He looks alright, Dadasov, right? And he's a pressing forward, which I really like, because we saw the form of Madja, apart from his last 5 games of Madja, we went on that poor run form, he didn't score. He's also a very good target man as well, being 186 centimeters, very good attacking player. As an attacking player on target man. He's also current international as well. I just think this guy looks pretty good, right? He's at Estoril in the Portuguese second league at the moment. If you go to his career, he scored 12 and 32 with 3 assists, 2 player of the matches at 7.32. The main reason why I've gone in for him, right, is this reason is West Ham are interested, Nuremberg, Dusseldorf, there was also Porto, I think there was also Spurs, and another Portuguese side that fails to... I failed to remember, and I weren't too much. I went in straight away and I said I thought 2 mil with clauses was very fair. As you can see, it's a very big contract, but, it's not too bad at all. I think this guy just has a lot of potential. You see, my scouts really recommended him. Dirk, who is still here at Sunderland, has got 12 and 13. He doesn't mind a scout. He reckons he has potential to be a Premier Division player and is at the same level as Zach Clough. It just offers us A, something else if we went with him on the bench as a target man, or B, offers us in terms of, if we stay with him as a pressing forward in the 4-3-3 as well. There's also the case that we could even play 4-1-2-1-2 at some point this year as well if form doesn't go our way. And just have another quality striker, I feel is good. There's also the thing to say about Renat is that he's 20 years old, got good determination, very good physicals, he's got good balance, he's got, bravery sticks out there even though he doesn't really need it. He's got very good finishing, first touch, got great work rate for a pressing forward at 15. I just think this guy is quite good. Also in the air, he's quite good. He's got good long shots, good technique. He cuts in from the left wing, so we could technically then train him to play as an inside forward. He's not getting too big of a wage rise as well. As you can see, he only goes up to 5k. We can obviously afford that. He has a minimum release fee of 15 mil. If someone told me that we were going to sell him on for 15 mil, I would happily take it. We're just going to sim forward and bring him in. And we'll have a look at the squad before we end this little snippet of the transfer window, because there's a little bit about the squad that I don't like. And that is we're getting quite a big squad. And I don't think we need a big squad. There we are. Vieta's happy with the signing. Obviously, Marcus Thuram I'm looking at as well. And there's also a scouting report that I will do off screen. I'm just going to click through a few of these things just to see if there's anything there. Insigne, someone that I'm looking at. That's Insigne's brother. Just can't play on the left. He can play on the right very well. Maybe someone we might go in for. Now that's come up. It's so tempting because he looks so good. But we have Watmore, we have Gooch, we have Honeyman. And you've got to remember, we don't need this big, massive squad because we're just in the championship. Yes, the championship's only 45 or 46 games for the season plus playoffs, right? We aren't even expected to make the playoffs this year. I'm very happy to finish mid-table, like the board said. I'm very happy to have a year of progress. We grow a few of the younger kids, Barley and Thuram, get another year's worth of growth at a higher division. Maybe the year after, Max Power and Dylan move on. We sell them on for profit. Barley and Thuram run the show in the middle of the park. We signed in Hennon as well in the middle of the park. We'll take a look at this. It's just, you see how big... Right, it is. You got Luisano that we can't put on the bench, right? Denisov is going to come in as sub number 8, right? Denisov's there. Just look at that starting 11. It is not a bad starting 11 at all. Love's wanted. Would I sell? I actually think this guy has the potential to be our best right back, so I wouldn't. but I wouldn't be against it. You know, there's a part of me that wants to sell, not Thuram, I wouldn't sell Thuram, but, you know, there's a part of me that might look at, you know, offloading, you know, Jack Baldwin, for instance, maybe Gooch, if someone came in with the right offer for Gooch. Definitely thinking about maybe just loaning up Porter then in that case. Brian's obviously going to stick around because he has obviously this potential to be a decent Premier League player, which makes me want to put him on the bench. Just see how big the squad is, and you go, you know, then there's the likes of, you know, Charlie's now on the list, but no one wants him. Reece James might be someone that we have to look to, you know, maybe sell. Jack Diamond on loan, I'm very happy to get rid of. You know, Luke O'Neill can probably now just go to the under-23, so he's not in this screen because he's on loan. So it's interesting to see. As you can see, we've tried to list Charlie as well. We'll try to list him for 4 mil. Gonna offer him out again. Make sure that he's you know, transfer listed as well. I don't like that it doesn't automatically tick that like previous years, but it's okay. You know, Thuram is just not going anywhere. You can see the interest in him as well, which is a big interest. Would I loan him to a Serie B side like Benevento? I don't know if they got promoted last year. No, they're still in the Serie B. Would I loan him to them? If they told me 100% of their wages, key first-team player played week in, week out, I would, just to help his growth, and that allows Heinemann to come onto the bench. I think it's Heinemann, something like that. Brian. Well, it allows Brian to come to the bench and do that. I wouldn't be against that as well, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, that's going to end this little snippet. You can see how big the squad is. We're definitely going to have to make some sales at some point, and we're definitely going to have to loan out a couple of people as well. It might be the case of loaning out Porter and so on and so forth. Pretty much that first team, as you see, is what I think is our best first team. Maybe Denisov goes into there for Zach Clough and that plays it like that because Denisov has that potential where Clough doesn't. And saying that Clough has Premier League potential as well. I have a very good, strong squad up front now and very much going forward, especially if Luazana gets that work permit. If he doesn't, I'm very happy with it anyway. I think Miller has a lot of potential to grow into as well. And if he plays first-team football, he'll grow into it as well. So it's not too bad. And Maguire's a very good person to have on the bench as well. Anyway, we are going to end this little snippet here, and we'll be back with hopefully a less wordy snippet in a little bit. Hopefully it's a sale or two because we probably need to in terms of the squad, or it could be another signing as we probably need a goalkeeper as well as John McLaughlin. You know, he's decent for most championship sides, but we wouldn't want someone a bit younger with the same potential, with the same current ability and more potential as well. But we'll be back in a second either way, and we'll get onto that in the future as well. Don't go anywhere, YouTube. Another snippet coming up just like that. Welcome back, YouTube. Another part of transfer window. It's the 9th of July. Damien, you said if you're coming back to sign a player, it would be a goalkeeper or it would be with some sales. This is a fullback. Why have you signed a fullback for? Mate, Linus is unreal. Look at him. Now, he's got 90 scout rating, but the thing about Dylan is, as much as he's not about judging people, you know, about their current ability, his potential judging is over 15, which is unreal for us, right? He has a decent, you know, he's got decent about everything, right? Unfortunately, this guy is coming from Germany, and he's not really the best in Germany, but, you know, we're going to trust the Belgium in here. Linus is a fullback playing at Dynamo Dresden, who are in the Bundesliga 2. Now, if there's anything about Dynamo Dresden, you know, or anywhere in the Bundesliga 2, Bundesliga 3, especially on previous FMs, haven't really looked too much on this FM yet. Because I haven't really needed to go. I'm thinking like the Premier League transfer window just going to go nuts. But, you know, there's always some good quality in and around Germany. This guy relishes big games. He's a consistent performer. Anticipates the situations well. He's unreal. But this is the thing is Linus, right? According to Dylan, Linus is going to grow to a good Premier League division player. And Dylan has over 15 judging potential, which means it's a very good shout. And that isn't just with a black star. That is 4.5 star guaranteed player for us at our current level, right? So obviously when we get to the Premier, he grows into this sort of player. He would be 3-star. But this is a guy that we could have for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, depending how long and how long this save goes for. But he's a person that we can bring to the Premier League. We can build around to get us to the Premier League. And then he could probably play in the Premier League for a fair while. So this is a guy that we probably have signed that could play over 100, 200 games for the club if we keep him happy, if we keep him playing. And if we look at him as a fullback on support, because that's how we play wing back on support, is he's got decent crossing and dribbling, which I expect to grow over time. But the thing is that defensively, he's unreal, right? He's got very good tackling, very good marking, very good passing for us in a possession-based system. Very good work rate, very good teamwork, very good off the ball. He's got very good determination, decision-making, concentration, anticipation. Physically unreal. So, yes, get in the club. When a player like that comes up, you just got to sign. What that does mean is Donald Love is currently interested by QPRs. Now, I can offer Donald Love out, and he's currently got a value of 6 mil because he's English. Now, I think a lot of love, and I think a lot about his determination. I think a lot about his potential, to be a decent, player for the championship with good current championship potential. Tom Flanagan, on the other hand, someone that's only 800k, and I don't really rate too much. So I'm going to transfer list them right now. I'm going to transfer list them out, offer him to clubs for his current wage. This guy's also on a biggish wage. Now, with Love, I'm going to wait for Donald Love before I do this. I want to see if we can get Flanagan out first and leave Love to the bench. But I just don't think Tom Flanagan's going to be good enough for us, the Northern Irishman. We'll see if he gets any person to come in for him. And then Love would go to the bench, and that's perfect for us. You spend a net spend of what? A 1.5 mil. I think we spent like 2.5. Maybe 2.5, maybe slightly more, but it's only 5% next profit if we don't sell him on, and there's someone that we're probably going to sell him for profit if we sell. Just something that makes sense, It's important to say that Jack Baldwin has got some loan interest and not transfer interest. I really want him to get some transfer interest. Hopefully these guys come in with like a potential future fee, like we've done with Leo Neen, who is currently out. But yeah, that's generally what we're going to say about that, is that he would come in. He's going to be a player. We're going to sim forward a day after saying yes to that. We're going to get him in. We're going to get him into the first team. He's going to play this game against Hartlepool, which will be off camera because no one wants to see us go smack Hartlepool. That is for sure. And there we are. The fans love him. Add him to the training camp. Add him into the squad. Where are ya? He should be here somewhere. There he is. Add him in. There we are. Linus is in at the club. What a fullback to get into. He can also play multiple positions. There is no one there that rings a bell or will, apart from Randall, that really should be good enough for us. Anyhow, so we're going to save the game there. That's going to be the end of this little snippet. And the next snippet is hopefully some people on the out or a goalkeeper, which we desperately need. Once we sign a goalkeeper, we're probably in the best position the club's been in a while in terms of squad depth for Sunderland in real life and on the save. And I reckon we'll be alright. Anyhow, we'll be back in just a second with some more transfer business. Welcome back to the last part of this episode, YouTube. It is July 29th. It has taken me over a couple of months, but we have found ourselves our goalkeeper. He will not be our number one, though, but someone with a lot of potential. Izam El-Amach is going to come in. I'm going to accept that one. As you can see, 4.8k wage here for 5 years on a rotation contract. The reason why I didn't get a first-team goalkeeper in is because, firstly, I couldn't find a goalkeeper that was of Sky Bet Champions League quality, with potential to be a good Premier League keeper in the future, that wanted to come to us. A lot of the lads that I've tried, like Pilzari at Milan, he's not unhappy yet. And there's a few others. We'll go through about it in just a second. Second thing is Damien, you're wearing completely different clothes. Like I said, busy day. I actually ended up going to the cricket. As well as it was Australia versus South Africa here. I played some foot champs. Foot champs isn't going well, by the way. Just on a side note, we're 0-2. I'm usually a gold one player, usually finishing my 20 wins every week. 0-2, 1-3. I've now salvaged it back to 7-4. I decided to take a little break to do this. I'm now going to play until I lose. So at worst, it's going to be 7-5 at the end of tonight. I'm hoping to just get to 9-5 or better. And then obviously I save my foot champs weekend slightly, and then obviously it'll be more FM content until Sunday night, where I'll probably play more foot champs. But here we are with the Ajax under 20, under 19s. We're going to accept him in just a second. What was drawn to me is just he's so well rounded. Like if you compare him with Joey, right? You can just see here that he's not too far off Joe at all. Distribution very, very, very very even distribution, shot stopping, physically, speed, mentally, his eccentricity is a bit high for my liking. I just like that he's very determined. As much as he has, eccentricity and a little bit of flair, so be it. If he wants to be like that, he wants to be like that. But he's not bad. He's pretty tall at 187 as well. Never played for Ajax, but Ajax do produce some really good. He actually played one game from, never mind. They generally produce some good talent. So just to go to Ajax and see that this guy was interested and wanted to come was not bad. He wasn't my first choice option, though. We'll go through my shortlist quickly. I wanted to bring Nick in. Nick just looks like a better keeper, and plus the media description being a promising keeper. He just, that aerial reach, 197 centimeters. He's a tall lad. And I thought, oh yeah, you don't have to be a tall lad. Like, I'm a goalkeeper coach now, but I used to play, decent level amateur, Div 1 here, semi-professional football. I used to hold my own at 5'7". So, I'm not saying that you can't be short to be a goalkeeper, but on Football Manager, 197, big lad, I thought, yeah, determination kind of blew me off. But for like $2 million to pick this guy up, I thought it was cheap. Unfortunately, he just signed a new contract. There's also, I didn't actually go for Sebastian just because I didn't like the one-on-ones being so low at 18. The other one was Gergely. He just signed a new contract. He's interested in coming. $4 million for this guy with 16 determination. I would have snapped him straight away, but unfortunately he's not interested. Pilzari, obviously people will remember from the Regina save before we stopped there. He was growing into a world beater. Doesn't want to come just yet. Someone we'll keep an eye out in the future. And then there's a couple others that we went down the other end, like Savic. They just want too much money. Do Torino. David Rayard wants to stay at Blackburn unless he's going to get a big move somewhere else. Who else are we going? Jamal Blackman was another one. Once again, wants an extortionary amount of wage, which we can't afford. So decided not to go with him. So we're going to go into the inbox here and just accept. If it wants to, no, just accept Issam. There is a couple of things we need to talk about this preseason as well. We haven't lost a game preseason. We conceded very, very, well, not very, very, very late, but conceded late-ish to Port Vale. We just smacked Rotterdam, the hardest game we played, 4-0 away in the Dutchland in Holland. Unfortunately for us, Maguire came off the bench and got injured, so he's not going to be able to be on the bench for round 1 against Ipswich, which will be a brand new episode, be after this episode. The first 5 minutes of the episode is just going to be a complete transfer wrap-up as well. We won't do a transfer wrap-up here, as I know this episode is going to be quite long anyhow. But we did win all our games, keeping mostly clean sheets as well. With Issam coming in now, the squad's pretty much complete. I'm pretty happy with it. We still need some people going out. In terms of outs at the moment, though, if we go to the transfer history, you can also hear my voice is a little bit croaky because I've been screaming at my TV. Some of the goals have been conceding in foot champs, not good. A lot of these guys have gone out on loan, like Diamond obviously going out on loan and Elliot for growth, right? Tom Flanagan has a release fee of $235K after he played 5 games, so I'm hoping he's going to go out the door just to get his wages off, and then paying 100% of his wage. And same with Luke O'Neill, they're paying 100% of his wage, and I think it's like $300K in the future as well. So it looks like that we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to get some sales out, but hopefully get a few more as well. In terms of the lineup for the first game of the season, and give you guys a little bit of precursor, that's what I'm thinking. It could change before then, even though it's only a few days away. McLaughlin, obviously, I can't pronounce it. Quifst. I'm definitely thinking just Linus. I just love the name Linus. Kone, David Garcia, Oviedo, Joey Palupisi, who's now our new vice captain. Bear was going to retain his captaincy, but Joey's got very good leadership, so he can stay there. Dylan, Power, Watmore, Miller's going to get the nod. Maguire was putting in a decent preseason, but unfortunately never, got injured, never was great. This is missed out of the Canada tournament squad. Well, son, we'll get you in there, don't worry. I think the Liverpool man has a lot of potential, like I've mentioned previously in this episode, so there we go. What more? And Davidson hasn't played too well in the preseason games he has played in. Got a 6.5, came off the bench against Port Vale, didn't, brought him off very late because he wasn't 100% fit. Gave him a start, played a 6.5, took him off. I'm going to give Clough the run of form. I actually rested him in the last game, didn't use him just because I was going to. Just because he's played in England before, and why Denisov, I think it's Denisov, is it Denisov? It's Dadasov is going to take a little bit of time to adapt to life in England. Clough will allow him to by playing Clough first and then Denisov off the bench. And if Denisov gets in a rush of form, we'll swip him out, and that's how we're going to play our strikers. And you can't forget we do have this 4-1-2-1-2 system saved up as well if needs be, which we would just play with 2 strikers, to be honest. I'm going to do that right now before I forget. There we go. So that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. As always, links in the description below. Come follow us on live on Twitch, because we will be streaming Game 1 live, as well as recording it for YouTube, and then doing a heap of games at the end of the transfer window, everything like that. There's also going to be... that's going to really annoy me. There's also going to be links there to my Twitter, so we're going live, screenshots, etc., as well. Haven't put any screenshots off today because it's so busy, but I will endeavor to do that maybe tomorrow morning. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It's been a very, very, very long, wordy sort of talking video. I've changed clothes in the time of this video. My voice has gone in the time of this video. But hopefully you've enjoyed. And I know there's a lot of people out there that really like the in-depth transfer look at stuff. We haven't gone too crazy. I think we will go a bit more crazier in the Premier League transfer window in that first season. You know, when I watched about the space, I love this sort of videos, but I know there's a lot of people that just want to watch the gameplay, and I know there's a lot of people that love my commentary over games. So we'll be back to normal after this episode as well. Thank you for enjoying the episode, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And from Damien Sunderland, this is Bright Lights. Thank you for watching this episode of Bright Lights as well. Have a good day or good night wherever you're watching from. And if you're playing Foot Champs, hopefully the cheese doesn't hit you because it's hit me bad.